Hi, Cancer. This is your reading for the end of December 2019. Lord, I'm having to think. We have a lot of upcoming energies before we get to the new year. Going into 2020, we are going to have Venus moving into Aquarius on the 20th in a couple days. The very next day, your winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, of course. Then Christmas. Probably one of the biggest energetic signatures you can find as it relates to days of the year. So a lot of energy of miracles happening on Christmas. And then Christmas night moving into the next day, there's the Capricorn new moon. And that next day we have the solar eclipse, the last one of this decade. So it's a lot of big energy, big shakeups happening here. We're trying to see what's going on with Cancer, but we have the Hierophant already telling us it's going to be big. It's going to be official. It's going to be on public notice. So let's see what's happening here for Cancer in December 2019, end of December 2019 for Cancer. So I'm just grab that. We have the Hierophant, Knight of Staffs. Hierophant, Knight of Staffs. Saucy. Somebody telling you something, they saucy about it too. For saying something, it's a little spice, it's a little attitude behind it. Not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but it's a little attitude behind whatever is being declared here. It's like, this is my declaration and I dare you to challenge it type of energy here. A little abrasive, I'll say that. Abrasive teachings, abrasive declaration, abrasive putting on notice like, hey, this is what it is, and I ain't trying to hear nothing else. We have the Page of Coins that follows that energy. It's like a mentorship. Hmm. Interesting. Mentorship or learning the rules, learning to play the game. It's coming together. We got a ten of what you have is official, but it ain't for no punks. That's what it is, Cancer. This ain't for no little wuss. This ain't for nobody who gonna break, who gonna fold. You gotta stand 10 toes down to hold onto these tens. You feel me? You gotta be in there. You gotta be in it to win it, to be successful at what it is that you got going on, Cancer. And you can take that either work related, family, love, whatever the case. Because you know, Cancer ain't gonna fold on you. Cancer ain't leaving you until you gotta pretty much threaten to kill them if they don't leave you alone. Or you gotta ghost them and never be found again and they find somebody else who truly loves them for them to be able to let go. Because once that Cancer get them claws on you, that's it. It's over for you. And I feel like you and the other party have kind of declared that. I feel like you clamped down on somebody or you clamped down on something and you weren't gonna let go anyway. So it might as well succumb to your desire. It might as well come on to you. You feel me? Might as well come on in to you. Cancel. This ain't for no punks now. I'm sitting here looking like, why these some random cards to come out together? But yeah, this ain't for no punk. And I think you realize that too, because in the beginning you may have been like, hold up, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I care enough to be. I don't even know if I care enough for all of this. That Five of Wands energy is like everything you do, it is challenged. Every, nice gesture you try to make towards this person is like, not like that. It's like you just, for a long time, you felt like maybe you couldn't do nothing right, Cancer. And that's in terms of like a union or at your job. It may have felt like, dang, now I'm trying to put my best foot forward and nothing is being well received. Nobody is caring. My boss is not paying attention. But it's like whatever it is that you have committed to, you have absolutely committed to it. You ain't going nowhere. With the Hierophant, correlating with Taurus energy, it'd be a cold day in hell before you move on. And I think for a time you tried to move on, but it wasn't happening. This came out upside down, the Four of Cups. It wasn't happening. You tried to go do something a little different. Wasn't happening. Just wasn't happening. And I think you kind of lied, to yourself about it a little bit. You saw all that back and forth energy, all these challenges to everything you doing. You was like, man, F this. You know what I'm saying? I can get treated better up the road at Blase office building. I don't have to be here, running to get your Starbucks when I have a whole master's degree and I should be in the C suite. You were feeling like that, like work related or in a relationship. You were like, man, bump this. Like, I know is dudes who will break their back for me. They'll jump through fiery hoops for the kid. I don't have to deal with you ignoring me and not responding back to me. And I write you a paragraph and you send me back K. That shit make you mad, don't it? You were like, bump this. I ain't gotta deal with this. Yes, you do. Yes, you did. Yes, you did have to deal with it because it was all a part of breaking down ego. It's a part of breaking down ego. It's a part of building humility. And I'm usually not one who believes in the whole, I'm so humble thing. Because first off, I have a Leo moon and humble who? But it built humility within you in terms of you appreciate what's about to pop off for you even more. You're gonna appreciate the 10 of coins. You're going to understand the weight of the 10 of coins because you understand how hard you had to work for it. I'm reminded of that grandma and grandpa sticking together, old fashioned type of love that people say doesn't exist anymore. Well, that's for a variety of reasons, and I won't get into the lower vibrational ones. But on the higher vibrational end, a lot of people didn't have as many options as they have now with social media. And even if they were attractive about town and had options and maybe even tested those options a little bit, there was such a connection and such a love for that person that they wouldn't step out or they couldn't go anywhere because every time they tried to leave, something kept pulling them back, telling you needed him in your life. Every time you tried to go, something kept telling you that everything was gonna be all right. Okay, everything was gonna be all right, and it will be, because you have the 10 of coins, and that's just the happiest thing ever. Oh, baby, you got double 10 of coins. You got 10 of coins and the 10 of pentacles. Pentacles, coins, coins, pentacles, same thing. And this is also new to you. You didn't know it took that. Like you may have always seen like the goals. You know what? I don't even feel like you've seen the goals. You just always kind of heard about them. I don't know if you've ever actually seen someone who had the type of love or the type of position or the type of friendships, the type of lifestyle that you always kind of knew you wanted and that you always kind of had in your mind. Like you were very thorough and very blunt about what it is that you wanted. You was like, I don't want this. I don't do that. When you seen other girls who was like, who was staying with a man, you be like, I wouldn't stay with him if he blase blase. But quiet as kept, Cancer. I know you probably didn't tell many people. But I seen you. I seen the things you put up with, and you put up with a lot more than you thought you could put up with. You handled a lot more burden than you thought you would ever put up with. But now you kind of see what it takes to have the magnitude of what you want to manifest. I like the way I worded that. I like that. I like that. Take that. Take that. I'm silly. Prosperity. Yeah. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. Like with those 10 of coins cards, what you're getting is very well deserved because you put up with some things. You hear me? And when people look at you and they're gonna be like, "Oh, your couple goals, or oh, your career goals," you're gonna be like, "Ooh, be careful what you wish for because you don't know what it took to get this." Like people want your spot, but they don't know what it took for you to get there. And a lot of them are not built like you, Cancer. They couldn't hold it down the way you have held it down. And that's not gassing you up. That's what these cards are saying. They just couldn't have done it. I feel like that's why there's such a fiery energy in defense of what it is that you manifest. That fiery kind of like an abrasive communication. Ain't nobody gonna tell you about your man. Ain't nobody gonna tell you about your masculine. Ain't nobody gonna tell you about your counterpart. Ain't nobody gonna tell you about your position because you have worked for what you're about to receive. And you know the ins and outs of it because you've been through it. You've felt every emotion. You've cried as many tears as your poor little eyes could muster up. Every challenge under the book, you beasted it out. You have Sekhmet here who says, "Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength outshores a happy outcome." What have I been telling you guys? This 10 of staffs, all that burden, all that work you had to do, all of these conditions and circumstances that come along with this big ideal picture that you had in your mind, and you were like, "Damn, I didn't know it took all of this to get what I want." But you endured it, right? You may have did it in spurts. It may have been like, okay, I'm gonna beast this out for a couple months, then that retrograde come along and you be right back. I can't do this, man. I can't take it. You may have been right back to that energy, and then after Mercury goes direct again, you be like, okay, I'm back in my element. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Then something else go retrograde or something else stations in the cosmos, and you be like, I can't do it. I can't take it. Then Scorpio season come around, and you know people show their ass in Scorpio season. Then Scorpio season come around, and you be like, "Oh my God, I can't take it. I'm about to snap. I'm about to let go on these people." It's look, you have achieved what you have been trying to achieve because you have been so strong. The universe will match your strength in what it offers to you and in the prosperity that you receive for the efforts that you have put forth. The presence of love will cast out any fear. I feel like this is the overall lesson that you will be able to give people. That's the energy that you'll be putting out into the universe henceforth. That when you are in a situation, especially in love, where it feels like, man, I know you lying. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with that. He ain't gonna do this to me. She ain't gonna do that to me. I'm not the type. I would never. First off, never say never because the universe will laugh at you and then deliver you that exact situation where your never becomes, I'll be there. I reacted the same way, or I had the same, emotional reaction. I did the same thing that that person did, and I said I would never do. Humility. That's the type of humility I guess I'm talking about. Like the universe will find ways to humble you to a place where you find yourself identifying with circumstances or conditions that before you were like, you get that energy of, that ain't, I don't do that. Mm-mm. That type of energy, and all of a sudden you find yourself in that situation, and it's be like, well, dang, I did it too. But it teaches you a lot of compassion. It teaches you a lot of love. And with that love in you, you have the ability to go forth and encounter even more things that on the surface is like, oh no, I can't. It's hard. Cancer gonna be so strong and so well versed and well skilled and actively loving someone or actively loving people in a situation when you need to, make something happen. It's gonna be like, I can do this. I can deal with this. I'll be all right. I got through it once. I can get through it again. The things that triggered you probably won't trigger you so much now. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. Things that triggered you then won't trigger you now because you kind of shoot. You already had all the triggers in the world dealing with this person, dealing with this relationship, dealing with this line of work, whatever the case may be for you here, Cancer. But it's time for you to be happy because you definitely did get through it, something, get through it. I feel like with someone, if not in a relationship, then it's like family. Maybe you looked at your father. I would never be that type of parent. Looked at your mother. I would never do that to my child. You just never know until you put in that same position. And the universe will put you in the same position because of that type of energy that you hold in. You keep thinking in your mind, if I was that, if I was that, if I was that. It don't matter what you're saying before that. I would never do blah and blah 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 blah. If I was that. You keep on with that. If I was that, comparing yourself, and the universe will put you in a position where you have to prove what you was talking about. You're gonna have to live it and prove what you were talking about. And 9 times out of 10, you realize in that position, in that situation, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing too, because we're all the same inside. You feel me? But the bigger message is that you did it and you achieved it and you come out stronger, and you get this love and you get this longevity and you get this lasting ideal, this big manifestation, this couple goals, you get this career goals, goals, you get it. You accomplish them, you hit it, and you're very sassy about it now. I had to work for this. Ain't nobody gave me nothing. You're rah-rah about your little love and your little new position. I ain't gonna call it little because it's not little at all. It's very big. But congratulations, Cancer, because you do absolutely deserve this. Okay. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments how this energy applies to you in your life. And I will see you next time, Cancer. Bye.